Hello students, today I will going to discuss the chapter number 4 of civics. The name of the chapter is Electoral Politics. Before going into the deeper of this chapter, I would like to make you sure that certain points which you can say that important points always keep in your mind, because this chapter is very important, because this chapter relates to our life. As you know that state assembly elections are going through the this time in our state. Some points I mention, you can note down or remember in your mind. Democracy is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Next point, the most common form of democracy in our times is for the people to govern through their representatives. Next points, elections are important in a democracy. It is a process by which people choose their representatives at regular intervals. In this chapter, it has been mentioned the various aspects of elections, such as what makes elections democratic. The concept of electoral competition is also dealt in detail in this chapter. Political competition is good as it gives the power to people to reward or punish the leaders as per their performance. This is what the election does. It forces the political parties and leaders to serve the people. The main purpose of election is to give the people a chance to choose the representative, the government, and the policies they prefer. All the citizens of 18 years and above have the right to vote in India. Later, part of this chapter focuses on elections in India, how it details and what makes India the largest democracy in the world. There are various steps involved in elections, such as demarcation of constituencies, preparation of electoral rolls, nomination of candidates, canvassing elections or voting, declaration of results, formation of government, etc. are explained in detail in this chapter. Finally, the chapter concludes with the role of election commission in India in ensuring free and fair elections and role of active citizens in elections. Active citizens in India feel that they can bring pressure on political parties to adopt policies favorable to them. Now, one question arises in our mind is that why elections are important. This point has been mentioned detailed in your chapter with the example of assembly elections in Haryana. Some points I would like to mention here that Haryana was ruled by the Congress party since 1982. Chaudhry Devilal, an opposition leader, started a movement called Nyayud, struggle for justice against the Congress party. People were unhappy with the existing Congress government. Promises were made by Chaudhry Devilal during his election campaign. One of the promise was newly elected government will waive off the loans of the farmers and the small businessmen. Seats were won by Lokdal and its allies in the election of 1987. Chaudhry Devilal became the Chief Minister of Haryana. 76 out of 90 seats were won by Lokdal and its allies, and Lokdal won 66 and thus had a clear majority in the assembly. Name of the party of Chaudhry Devilal was Lokdal. Loans of small farmers, agricultural laborers, and small businessmen were waived off. In the elections of 1991, the Congress party won popular support and formed the government. Now, one question once again arises in our mind is that why do we need elections? I here explain. In a large community and country with large number of people, every citizen cannot participate in the decision-making process due to lack of time, knowledge, etc. In most democracies, people rule through their elected representatives. Age, experience, knowledge, or education cannot be criteria to choose representative in a democracy, as there is difficulty in deciding on who is more experienced or knowledgeable. Elections is a mechanism by which people can choose their representative at regular intervals and change them if they wish to do so. The various choices made by the voters during elections, they can choose who will make laws for them. Next, they can choose who will form the government and take major decisions. Next point is what makes an election democratic. Everyone should be able to choose one person, one vote, one value. There should be something to choose from. Various parties and candidates should be free to contest elections and should offer real choice. The candidate preferred by the people should get elected. The choice to choose representatives should be offered at regular interval. Elections should be conducted in free and fair manner. Is it good to have political competition? The answers are elections create a feeling of disunity and factionalism. It leads to politics where political parties and leaders level allegations against each other. Parties and candidates use dirty tricks to win elections. Electoral fights does not allow sensible long-term policies to be formulated. Some good people do not like to enter this arena to avoid unhealthy competition. In the next video, I will cover some more points of this chapter. Till that time, you are requested to go through the chapter one or two, three times so that you may get more acquainted with the terms, contents of this chapter, so that the all points relating to elections may be clear in your mind, because this is a practical side. And even though this type of elections are going through in our state, so it is very important. If you go through the newspapers also, you can get a lot of knowledge, a lot of information about the elections, which may be helpful in due course of time. Remember that such type of questions may also be asked in the 10th class. So have patience, read the books, go through the newspapers, and collect a lot of data, lot of information which may be of helpful nature in future. Thank you. Thanks.